Your instincts are warning you. Something feels off. The woman you once knew so well doesn't feel the same anymore, and you can't clearly explain why. Before you start checking her phone or thinking about hiring someone to investigate, understand this. There is a method professionals use to detect deception without ever being noticed. It's called behavioral delta analysis, and once you understand it, you will never look at human behavior the same way again. The word delta simply means change. In this context, it refers to the difference between how someone used to behave and how they behave now. Think of it like comparing two versions of the same person, before and after something shifted. The human mind is built to recognize patterns. And when a person is living a double life, keeping everything consistent becomes mentally exhausting. That pressure creates small cracks that can be observed if you are paying attention. This matters because when a woman is loyal, her behavior follows stable patterns. She has routines, habits, emotional reactions, and communication styles you've seen over time. These patterns create what we call a baseline. But when deception enters her life, she is suddenly managing two identities. One version for you and another for someone else. Keeping track of lies, stories, and emotions creates mental strain. And that strain begins to show in subtle but consistent changes. Professionals don't rely on one obvious sign. They look for clusters of changes happening at the same time. When multiple behavioral shifts appear within a short period, the likelihood of deception rises sharply. Now let's break down the key behavioral shifts you need to observe, and more importantly, how to observe them without exposing yourself. The first shift involves her relationship with her phone. This is not about basic privacy. Everyone values their space. What matters is the change. Did she once leave her phone casually around but now keeps it hidden or face down? Did it stay beside the bed before, but now it goes everywhere with her, even into private spaces? These are not small habits. They are shifts that signal something new is being protected. But most people make a mistake here. They focus only on the phone itself. The real signal is in the behavior around it. Watch how she reacts when notifications arrive. Does she quickly flip the phone? Turn the screen away? Leave the room to respond? Compare her reactions now to how she acted before. There is also a subtle reaction that is very hard to control. When a message comes from someone emotionally significant, there is often a brief flash of excitement, just a fraction of a second, before it is suppressed. You may see her eyes light up, followed immediately by a forced neutral expression. That quick shift is important. Normal messages rarely trigger that same pattern. The second major shift appears in her appearance and self-presentation. This is not about self-improvement. Growth is natural. What matters is the speed and intention behind the change. When change is genuine, it is gradual and consistent. But when it is driven by someone new, it often appears suddenly and intensely. Watch for what can be called a transformation cluster. She may suddenly invest more energy into her appearance in ways that don't match her previous priorities. New clothes, new styles, different routines. The key question is this: who benefits from this change? If she is putting in more effort but spending less time with you, that is a meaningful shift. There is also a psychological effect involved. New emotional excitement can boost confidence, mood, and energy. She may seem more alive, more vibrant than before. But the source of that energy matters. The third shift is found in her schedule. Time is required to maintain secrets, and that time has to come from somewhere. Start quietly observing patterns. When does she say she will be somewhere? And when does she actually return? Do not question. Do not accuse. Just observe. New routines often appear. Activities that didn't exist before suddenly become consistent. Specific time blocks become protected. And if those times are challenged, she may react defensively. Pay attention to how she explains these activities. When someone is telling the truth, details flow naturally. When someone is lying, they often give too much detail or almost none at all. Compare how she normally shares her day to how she explains these new routines. The fourth shift is emotional, and it is one of the strongest indicators. When a person lives in contradiction to their values, it creates internal tension. To reduce this discomfort, the mind looks for ways to justify the behavior. This often shows up as increased irritation. She may begin criticizing things that never bothered her before. Small issues become arguments. Your presence may seem to frustrate her. This is not random. It is the mind trying to reshape reality. If she convinces herself that you are the problem, then her actions feel justified. In her mind, she is no longer the one at fault. Watch for a pattern of emotional withdrawal combined with sudden irritation. Less eye contact, less engagement, less patience. Conversations feel shorter. The connection feels weaker. These are not just relationship struggles when they appear suddenly and together. They are shifts. The fifth shift involves her social environment. Deception rarely exists in isolation. It often affects how others behave. Watch how mutual friends act around you. Discomfort, avoidance, or forced friendliness can all be signals. Also listen to how she talks about relationships. If she begins to speak more negatively about commitment or highlights problems in other relationships, it may be a way of normalizing her own actions. The sixth shift involves money, but not in an obvious way. You don't need access to accounts to notice change. Observe behavior. Does she start using cash more often? Does she become more private about small purchases? Are there signs of spending that don't match her explanations? It's not the spending itself. It's the secrecy around it. Small habits like hiding receipts, cleaning out her car more often, or being unusually careful with personal items can signal something being concealed. Now we come to one of the most important shifts: presence versus absence. She may be physically near you but mentally somewhere else. Conversations feel empty. Attention drifts. Emotional connection fades. She may stop reacting the way she used to. Stop asking about your day. Stop sharing her thoughts. This is not just distance. It is disconnection. You are no longer sharing the same emotional space. To observe all of this, you must control yourself. The moment you become reactive, suspicious, or confrontational, everything changes. Awareness forces people to become more careful. Instead, remain calm. Observant. Think like someone studying patterns, not chasing answers. Keep quiet notes if needed. Dates, times, behaviors. Not for confrontation, but for clarity. Over time, patterns reveal themselves. And here is something most people ignore. If there are no significant changes, that also tells you something. Consistency means stability. Not every fear is reality. This method works both ways. It can confirm suspicion, but it can also remove it. If you do notice multiple changes forming a pattern, understand this. It is not absolute proof. It is a strong indication of deception. What you do next depends on your values and your goals. You can continue observing. You can seek professional help. You can prepare yourself legally. Or you can choose to confront the situation directly. But understand, without clear evidence, confrontation can be turned against you. A skilled liar can explain away single events. But patterns are harder to deny. Human beings rely on routine because it requires less mental effort. When someone introduces a major secret into their life, maintaining those routines becomes difficult. The changes you see are not random. They are the natural result of divided attention and hidden truth. The purpose of this is not paranoia. It is awareness. Your intuition may alert you, but observation gives you clarity. Instead of reacting from emotion, you begin to see reality for what it is. And that gives you power. Power to decide. Power to act. Power to protect your peace. Because at the end of the day, you deserve honesty. You deserve clarity. And you deserve to live based on truth. Not confusion, not denial, and not false hope. This method does not require invasion of privacy. It does not require chasing or controlling. It only requires awareness. And the discipline to see what is truly there. Not what you wish was there.